Good evening, listeners, and welcome to Real Free News Radio Overnight, your go-to source for the stories that keep you up at night, pondering the mysteries of the unknown. I'm your host, bringing you the latest from the edges of reality, tales of Bigfoot, UFOs, aliens, and the supernatural that have been reported across America. Tonight, we dive into chilling accounts from the past month, each one a glimpse into the strange and unexplained. So, grab a cup of coffee, dim the lights, and let's explore the stories that are sparking whispers and wonder across the nation. Trail camera captures alleged Bigfoot in East Texas woods, sparking viral debate. In the dense, pine-laden forests of East Texas, a region steeped in tales of mysterious creatures, a trail camera set up by an anonymous local hunter has unleashed a torrent of speculation and excitement. On August 7, 2025, a grainy, motion-activated video surfaced on social media, capturing a hulking, hairy figure moving swiftly through the underbrush. The clip, now viewed thousands of times across platforms like X, shows a creature standing nearly 7 feet tall, its long arms swinging with a peculiar grace and a gait that seems eerily human, yet distinctly otherworldly. The sighting has electrified locals in this rural corner of Texas, a place long associated with Bigfoot lore, while skeptics dismiss the footage as a bear or a cleverly disguised hoaxer. The debate has turned the quiet woods into a battleground of belief and doubt, with the video's viral spread amplifying the mystery. The hunter, choosing anonymity to avoid the spotlight, insists the camera was untouched for weeks, set up to monitor game trails in a remote area near the Sabine River. He discovered the footage during a routine check, claiming the figure appeared at dusk, moving with a silent, fluid stride that belied its massive size. The dry summer soil, hardened by weeks without rain, yielded no clear footprints, a detail skeptics seize upon as evidence of fabrication. Yet believers argue the creature's movements, too deliberate for a bear, too agile for a human in a bulky costume, suggest something extraordinary. The video, though low resolution, reveals a dark, shaggy silhouette with elongated limbs, lacking the clear facial features that might settle the debate. Online forums buzz with comparisons to the 1968 Fouke monster sighting in nearby Arkansas, where a similar creature was reported lurking in the swamps. Some enthusiasts even point to the Texas Bigfoot Research Conservancy's archives, which document over 200 sightings in the state since the 1950s, as context for this latest claim. The Texas Bigfoot Research Conservancy has responded with fervor, organizing an expedition to the site in hopes of uncovering physical evidence like hair samples, scat, or elusive tracks. Volunteers are combing the dense thickets, armed with thermal cameras and audio recorders, seeking signs of the creature's presence. Local residents, meanwhile, share stories of strange noises, deep howls and wood knocks, heard in the nights following the video's release. Skeptics counter that East Texas bear population, combined with the region's history of Bigfoot hoaxes, makes a mundane explanation more likely. They note the absence of clear physical evidence and the video's grainy quality as red flags, suggesting a costumed prankster could have staged the encounter. Yet the hunter's insistence on the camera's isolation and the footage's unedited timestamp keeps the mystery alive. Social media has amplified the story, with hashtags like #TexasBigfoot trending as users dissect every frame. Some claim the creature's proportions match descriptions from Native American legends, while others speculate it could be a surviving primate species. The lack of definitive proof only fuels the fascination, drawing amateur investigators and curious tourists to the area. Businesses in nearby towns report a surge in Bigfoot-themed merchandise, from t-shirts to trail maps, as the sighting boosts local intrigue. For now, the East Texas woods remain a shadowy enigma, whispering secrets to those who dare listen. Is this the long-sought evidence of Bigfoot's existence, or merely another fleeting shadow in the forest? The answer, like the creature itself, remains just out of reach, leaving listeners to ponder what truly stalks the wilds of Texas. Alien-like figure caught on Compton doorbell camera, neighbors report strange noises. In the quiet streets of Compton, California, a chilling Ring doorbell video recorded on August 2, 2025, has left residents gripped by unease and fascination. Jessica Ortiz, a single mother of two, was jolted awake at 2 a.m. by her camera's motion sensor, which captured a shadowy, humanoid figure gliding past her front porch. The figure, described as alien-like with an unnaturally thin frame, elongated limbs, and a head that seemed slightly oversized, moved with an eerie, almost weightless grace before vanishing into the darkness. Ortiz, still shaken, reported hearing persistent banging and scratching noises outside her home for several nights prior, sounds she initially dismissed as stray animals or neighborhood kids. Neighbors on her block corroborated similar disturbances, describing low, guttural sounds and fleeting shadows that seemed to evade explanation. The video, shared on social media platforms like X, exploded in popularity, racking up thousands of views and sparking heated debates about whether it depicts an extraterrestrial visitor, a prankster, or a trick of the camera's lens. The grainy footage, illuminated only by the porch's dim light, shows a tall, slender silhouette moving with unsettling fluidity, its limbs appearing to bend at unnatural angles. Paranormal enthusiasts have seized on the video as potential evidence of alien activity, pointing to Compton's proximity to Los Angeles, a known hotspot for UFO sightings since the 1947 Roswell era. Some draw parallels to the 1973 Pascagoula abduction case, where Mississippi fishermen claimed encounters with humanoid beings. Online forums buzz with speculation, with users noting the figure's lack of reflective clothing or clear facial features, which they argue rules out a typical human intruder. Skeptics, however, are quick to counter, suggesting the image could be distorted by camera glare or low-light artifacts, or that the figure is simply a person in dark clothing, perhaps a teenager pulling a late-night prank. Compton police investigated Ortiz's property but found no signs of trespassing, no footprints, no damage, no discarded costumes, deepening the mystery and leaving authorities without answers. Ortiz, rattled but intrigued, has since installed additional security cameras and joined online groups dedicated to UFO and paranormal encounters, seeking others who might have seen similar figures. Her story has resonated with locals, some of whom report their own unexplained experiences, like flickering streetlights or sudden cold spots near their homes. The viral video has fueled late-night discussions, with some connecting it to broader UFO activity reported across California in 2025, including sightings of glowing orbs near San Diego. Others caution that urban settings like Compton are ripe for misidentification, where shadows and sounds can take on otherworldly significance. Local paranormal investigators have offered to conduct electromagnetic field readings at Ortiz's home, hoping to detect anomalies that might suggest an otherworldly presence. For now, Compton residents are keeping their lights on and their cameras rolling, wary of what might lurk in the night. The video, while inconclusive, has reignited fascination with the possibility of extraterrestrial life, prompting some to question whether we're truly alone. Ortiz herself remains torn, wondering if her home was visited by something from beyond or simply caught in a moment of earthly deception. As the debate rages on, this eerie encounter continues to captivate, leaving listeners to ponder, is Compton a new frontier for alien contact, or just another stage for human imagination? Dinosaur-like creature spotted at Skinwalker Ranch, witnessed by former Pentagon official. At Utah's infamous Skinwalker Ranch, a sprawling 512-acre property synonymous with paranormal phenomena, a jaw-dropping sighting on August 17, 2025, has sent shockwaves through the paranormal community. Jay Stratton, a former Pentagon investigator of unidentified aerial phenomena (UAP, reported encountering a bizarre, 150-pound creature that defied explanation. Described as resembling a dinosaur with spines protruding along its back and a flat, beaver-like tail, the entity moved with uncanny silence across the rugged terrain during a nighttime investigation. Stratton, accompanied by a team equipped with thermal imaging and audio recorders, watched in astonishment as the creature appeared briefly before vanishing without a trace, leaving only a fleeting heat signature on their equipment. The account, shared widely on social media platforms like X, carries significant weight due to Stratton's extensive experience with unexplained phenomena, reigniting fascination with a ranch long associated with UFOs, cryptids, and poltergeist activity. Skinwalker Ranch, located in the Uinta Basin, has been a magnet for researchers since the 1990s, when stories of cattle mutilations, strange lights, and shape-shifting entities began to surface. Stratton's team was conducting a routine investigation, part of ongoing efforts to document the ranch's anomalies, when the creature emerged from the shadows. The entity, roughly the size of a large dog but with a reptilian form, moved with a fluidity that ruled out known local wildlife like mountain lions or elk, according to Stratton. The thermal cameras captured a faint outline, but the creature evaded clear imaging, disappearing into the night as if it had never been there. Skeptics argue the sighting could be a misidentification, perhaps a mountain lion distorted by the ranch's eerie reputation or the team's heightened expectations. Others suggest psychological factors, noting that the human mind can conjure vivid images in high-stress, isolated environments like the ranch. Believers, however, point to Native American lore, particularly the Navajo legend of the Skinwalker, a shape-shifting entity capable of taking animal forms. The Uinta Basin's history of such tales, coupled with documented reports of UFOs and unexplained lights, lends credence to the idea that Stratton's team encountered something extraordinary. Online discussions have exploded, with some speculating the creature could be a prehistoric survivor, like a small theropod dinosaur, or an interdimensional being slipping through a rift, a theory popular among ranch researchers. The lack of physical evidence, tracks, hair, or scat, frustrates investigators, but the heat signature has been submitted for analysis, with hopes it might reveal more about the entity's nature. The sighting has sparked renewed interest in Skinwalker Ranch, with paranormal teams planning expeditions armed with drones and advanced sensors. Local residents, accustomed to the ranch's strange reputation, report increased activity, including odd lights in the sky and unexplained animal behavior. Stratton's credibility has drawn mainstream attention, though no major outlet has confirmed the sighting. For now, the ranch remains a crucible of mystery, challenging our understanding of reality. Was this a glimpse of a lost species, an otherworldly visitor, or a trick of the mind in one of America's most haunted locales? Listeners are left to wonder what secrets Skinwalker Ranch still holds, waiting to be uncovered in its shadowy expanse. Idaho ATV rider films Bigfoot on remote trail, sparks first major sighting of 2025. In the rugged, pine-studded backcountry near Boise, Idaho, a heart-pounding encounter captured on January 15, 2025, has been hailed as the first major Bigfoot sighting of the year, too compelling to overlook despite falling just outside our one-month window. An ATV rider, navigating a remote trail far from civilization, recorded a large, bipedal figure crossing his path using a helmet-mounted GoPro. The creature, estimated at 8 feet tall with broad shoulders and a shaggy, dark coat, moved with deliberate purpose before vanishing into the dense pine forest. The video, first aired by local station 1043wowcountry.com and amplified on YouTube's Otherworldly News channel, has ignited a firestorm of excitement, drawing hundreds of Bigfoot enthusiasts to the area. The rider, a seasoned outdoorsman with years of experience in Idaho's wilds, insists no other humans were present in the isolated region, making a hoax seem improbable. Yet skeptics point to Idaho's history of Bigfoot hoaxes, arguing the figure could be a costumed prankster in a carefully staged act. The footage, though shaky from the ATV's motion, reveals a towering, hairy figure with disproportionately long arms and a fluid, powerful gait that Bigfoot researchers say aligns with Pacific Northwest lore, including the famous 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film. The creature's stride, covering nearly 4 feet per step, and its ability to navigate uneven terrain without hesitation have fueled speculation that it could be the elusive Sasquatch. The rider, who requested anonymity to avoid harassment, reported an eerie silence in the forest moments before the sighting, a detail often associated with Bigfoot encounters. He noted the trail's remoteness, accessible only by ATV or foot, reduces the likelihood of a staged event. The Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, BFRO, has taken a keen interest, analyzing the video frame by frame to measure stride length, limb proportions, and possible muscle definition, hoping to validate its authenticity. Skeptics, however, remain unconvinced, citing Idaho's history of fabricated Bigfoot evidence, such as the 2008 hoax involving a frozen Bigfoot corpse. They argue the figure's lack of clear facial features and the video's brief duration suggest a person in a high-quality costume, possibly exploiting the region's Bigfoot mystique. The absence of additional evidence, no tracks, hair, or scat, further fuels their doubts, especially given the snowy January ground, which should have preserved footprints. Despite this, the sighting has transformed the Boise backcountry into a pilgrimage site for cryptozoology enthusiasts, with local outfitters reporting a surge in guided Bigfoot tours. Online forums buzz with comparisons to historical sightings, like those in nearby Payette National Forest, where similar figures have been reported since the 1970s. The BFRO's ongoing analysis has yet to yield definitive conclusions, but the video's raw intensity keeps the debate alive. Local businesses are capitalizing on the hype, selling Bigfoot-themed gear, while residents share stories of strange noises and fleeting shadows in the woods. For now, Idaho's forests remain a battleground of belief and skepticism, with this fleeting glimpse fueling dreams of a definitive Bigfoot encounter. Is this the evidence that will finally prove the creature's existence, or just another tantalizing mirage in the wilderness? The question lingers, as Idaho's wilds hold their secrets close. Mysterious predator-like entity reported with police presence, location unspecified. On August 8, 2025, a chilling report surfaced online, sending ripples through paranormal communities and sparking fervent debate. An anonymous witness, posting on social media, described a terrifying encounter with a predator xenomorph-looking entity that appeared suddenly in an undisclosed U.S. location. The creature, towering over 6 feet with a reflective, almost cloaked appearance and a shield over its head, emitted a low, guttural growl that sent the witness fleeing toward a nearby exit, where police were inexplicably already present. The lack of a specified location, whether urban alley or rural backroad, adds an enigmatic layer to the story, fueling its viral spread across platforms like X. The witness's vivid description, likening the entity to sci-fi icons with its sleek, otherworldly form and menacing presence, has captivated imaginations, but the absence of photos, videos, or physical evidence keeps the encounter firmly in the realm of speculation. The witness recounted the entity materializing as if from thin air, its shimmering, almost translucent body glinting under ambient light, reminiscent of the cloaking technology seen in films like Predator. The shield over its head, possibly a helmet-like structure or an optical illusion, paired with its growling voice, left the witness frozen before panic set in. The presence of police at the exit raises tantalizing questions. Were they responding to the same sighting, or was their presence coincidental? Authorities have not confirmed the incident, leaving skeptics to argue the story could be a hallucination, perhaps induced by stress or fatigue, or an elaborate prank designed to exploit the internet's fascination with the unknown. Paranormal enthusiasts, however, see the entity as potential evidence of an extraterrestrial or interdimensional being, pointing to similar reports of cloaked figures in rural America, like the 2019 Missouri invisible predator sighting. Online discussions have exploded, with users dissecting the witness's brief account for clues. Some connect the entity to theories of advanced alien technology, suggesting it could be a scout using cloaking to observe humans undetected. Others propose an interdimensional origin, citing locations like Skinwalker Ranch where strange entities allegedly cross reality's boundaries. The lack of physical evidence, no footprints, no disturbed surroundings, frustrates investigators, but believers argue such beings might leave no trace. Skeptics counter that the anonymity and vagueness of the report, coupled with no corroborating witnesses, point to a fabricated tale meant to go viral. The police detail, while intriguing, lacks official backing, leading some to speculate it was added for dramatic effect. The story's ambiguity has only amplified its allure, drawing comparisons to historical cases like the 1977 Kelly-Hopkinsville Goblin encounter, where bizarre creatures were reported in Kentucky. Social media users have called for the witness to provide more details, but none have emerged, leaving the encounter shrouded in mystery. For now, this fleeting glimpse of a sci-fi-like entity stalks the edges of belief, challenging listeners to wonder, was this a genuine brush with the otherworldly, or a modern myth born from imagination? As the shadows deepen, the question remains, could something truly alien be watching from just beyond our sight? Virginia Bigfoot hoax at Wintergreen Resort caught on doorbell camera. In late September 2024, just beyond our 1-month window but too impactful to ignore, Wintergreen Resort in Virginia's Blue Ridge Mountains became the epicenter of a Bigfoot frenzy that captivated the nation. A doorbell camera, installed at a vacation home in the upscale resort community, captured a tall, hairy figure lumbering through a backyard under the cover of night. The footage, which surfaced on September 27, 2024, showed a 7-foot-tall creature with matted fur and a hulking frame, moving with a slow, deliberate gait that sent social media into a frenzy. Shared across platforms like X and covered by local outlet Cardinal News, the video sparked viral excitement, with thousands speculating it was the clearest Bigfoot evidence in years. However, Nelson County Police swiftly debunked the sighting, confirming it as a hoax, a person in a meticulously crafted costume. Despite the revelation, the incident has reignited Virginia's rich Bigfoot lore, highlighting the fine line between belief and deception in cryptozoology culture. The video's initial clarity stunned viewers, showing a figure with long arms and a shaggy silhouette, eerily reminiscent of descriptions from historical sightings in the Blue Ridge Mountains. For a brief moment, it seemed to validate decades of reports, like the 1970s Shenandoah Valley encounters documented by the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, BFRO. Enthusiasts flooded forums, comparing the footage to the iconic 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film, with some arguing the figure's proportions and movements were too lifelike for a casual prank. The homeowner, who discovered the footage after returning from a weekend away, reported no signs of trespassing beyond the video itself, adding to the initial intrigue. Local businesses, quick to capitalize, began selling Bigfoot-themed merchandise, from mugs to trail guides, as tourists flocked to Wintergreen hoping to glimpse the creature. Police, after reviewing the footage and conducting a brief investigation, identified telltale signs of a costume, slight stitching visible in high-resolution stills and an unnatural stiffness in the figure's posture. The prankster, still unidentified, left no traces like discarded costume pieces or footprints, suggesting a carefully planned stunt. Skeptics pointed to Virginia's history of Bigfoot hoaxes, including a 2018 incident where teens admitted to staging a sighting for social media clout. Yet the debunking did little to quell enthusiasm, as the BFRO noted a surge in reports of strange noises and fleeting shadows in the region post-incident. The Blue Ridge Mountains, with their dense forests and rugged trails, remain a hotspot for Bigfoot lore, with over 50 documented sightings since the 1950s. The Wintergreen hoax underscores the cultural power of Bigfoot, where even a fabricated sighting can spark renewed interest and debate. Online communities continue to dissect the footage, with some diehards insisting it could still hold clues to a real creature. The incident has boosted local tourism, with guided Bigfoot hikes now a staple at Wintergreen. Though not a true sighting, its ripple effect reminds us how easily a well-crafted illusion can ignite imaginations, blurring the lines between myth and reality. Virginia's forests, hoax or not, continue to whisper tales of the unknown, inviting believers to keep searching for the truth. Ohio skies light up with unexplained UFO sighting, multiple witnesses report. In late July 2025, the night skies over Ohio became a stage for the unexplained, as residents across rural and urban areas reported a brilliant, hovering object that defied easy explanation. Described as a pulsating orb shifting between vibrant red and white hues, the sighting occurred around July 28, 2025, and captivated witnesses who shared their accounts and shaky cell phone footage on social media platforms like X. The object, silent and occasionally appearing triangular in shape, hovered for several minutes before vanishing without a trace, leaving no official explanation in its wake. The event, reported by dozens of witnesses from small towns to city suburbs, has sparked intense speculation, with some attributing it to drones or atmospheric phenomena, while UFO enthusiasts link it to Ohio's storied history of unexplained aerial sightings, such as the 1994 Michigan UFO wave. The lack of mainstream media coverage has kept this story grassroots, but its recency and multi-witness nature make it a compelling addition to America's UFO lore. The footage, though grainy due to low-light conditions and trembling hands, shows a glowing orb pulsing rhythmically, at times appearing to morph into a triangular form with faint lights at its edges. Witnesses, ranging from farmers in rural Preble County to late-night commuters in Columbus, described the object as eerily silent, ruling out conventional aircraft like helicopters or planes. One witness, a retired teacher posting anonymously online, noted the orb's hypnotic pulsations, which seemed to accelerate before it blinked out, as if dissolving into the sky. Social media buzzed with excitement, with users sharing stills and debating whether the object resembled advanced military technology, a natural phenomenon like ball lightning, or something extraterrestrial. Ohio's history as a UFO hotspot, home to the 1973 coin helicopter incident and the 1994 sightings across Lake Erie, lends weight to believers' claims that the state is a magnet for otherworldly activity. Skeptics, however, point to the proliferation of drones in 2025, capable of silent flight and equipped with LED lights that could mimic the orb's behavior. Others suggest atmospheric anomalies, such as mirages caused by temperature inversions, could explain the sighting. The Federal Aviation Administration and local air traffic control reported no unusual activity that night, deepening the mystery. UFO researchers, including members of the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, have begun interviewing witnesses, hoping to triangulate the object's path and analyze footage for clues. No physical evidence, like radar data or debris, has surfaced, frustrating efforts to confirm the sighting's nature. The event has galvanized Ohio's paranormal community, with local meetups and podcasts dissecting the footage. Some residents report ongoing strange lights in the weeks since, though none match the July sightings' intensity. The lack of mainstream coverage has fueled speculation of a cover-up, though it's more likely the story's grassroots nature hasn't yet reached national outlets. Ohio's skies, long a canvas for the unexplained, continue to spark wonder and debate. Was this a glimpse of alien technology, a misidentified drone, or a natural quirk? For now, the pulsating orb remains a tantalizing enigma, inviting listeners to gaze upward and question what lies beyond. Haunted Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles reports ghostly girl in red dress. The Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles, a grand dame of Hollywood's golden age and a renowned paranormal hotspot, has once again stirred whispers of the supernatural with renewed reports in July 2025 of a ghostly girl in a red dress haunting its opulent halls. Guests staying at the historic hotel described a translucent figure, appearing to be about 10 years old, materializing near the elevators on the upper floors before fading into thin air. The sightings, shared across paranormal forums and social media platforms like X, align with the Biltmore's long-standing reputation for hauntings tied to tragic events from its century-long history. Hotel staff corroborate the eerie atmosphere, reporting unexplained cold spots and flickering lights in the same elevator corridor, phenomena that have persisted for decades. While not tied to a single incident, these recurring encounters continue to cement the Biltmore's status as one of America's most haunted hotels, drawing ghost hunters, curious tourists, and paranormal investigators eager to glimpse the spectral girl. The Biltmore, opened in 1923, has hosted presidents, celebrities, and countless galas, but its darker history, rumored suicides, accidents, and ties to the 1947 Black Dahlia murder, fuels its ghostly lore. Guests in July 2025 reported seeing the girl, dressed in a vivid red frock, standing silently near the elevators, her expression described as lost or sorrowful. One witness, a tourist from Chicago, claimed the air grew heavy and cold as the figure appeared, only to vanish when she reached for her phone to snap a photo. Another guest, a skeptic, admitted to feeling an inexplicable chill despite no open windows. Staff, accustomed to such tales, note that the elevator area is a focal point for anomalies, with lights flickering erratically and thermostats registering sudden drops. Paranormal forums buzz with speculation, with some linking the girl to a child who may have died during the hotel's early years, though no records confirm her identity. Ghost hunters have flocked to the Biltmore, armed with EMF meters and infrared cameras, hoping to capture evidence of the girl or other spirits rumored to roam the grand ballroom and presidential suite. Online discussions draw parallels to similar apparitions, like the Lady in White at other historic hotels, suggesting the girl could be a residual haunting, a spectral echo of a past tragedy. Skeptics argue the sightings may stem from suggestion, given the hotel's haunted reputation, or even from overactive imaginations in its dimly lit, ornate corridors. Yet the consistency of reports, spanning decades, keeps the mystery alive. Local paranormal groups have offered to conduct overnight investigations, with some claiming to have recorded faint whispers near the elevators. The Biltmore's allure as a paranormal destination has boosted bookings, with ghost tours now a popular draw. The girl in the red dress remains unidentified, her story a poignant thread in the hotel's tapestry of intrigue. As guests continue to report fleeting glimpses and eerie sensations, the Biltmore stands as a testament to the enduring power of ghost stories. Is this spectral child a restless spirit tied to a forgotten tragedy, or a product of collective fascination? The answer eludes us, inviting listeners to wonder what other secrets linger in the Biltmore's gilded halls. New Bigfoot footprint casts unveiled in northern Kentucky, ignite cryptozoology frenzy. In the dense, shadowy forests of northern Kentucky, a thrilling discovery has reignited the fervor of Bigfoot enthusiasts. In July 2025, the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Organization, KBRO, led by founder Charlie Raymond, unveiled a series of new footprint casts at a public event held at the Slade Welcome Center, drawing crowds of believers and curious onlookers. The 16-inch prints, discovered in a secluded wooded area near the Red River Gorge, exhibit intricate dermal ridges and an unusual depth, suggesting a creature of significant weight, potentially over 500 pounds. Raymond, a seasoned investigator with over 30 years of experience, hailed the casts as credible evidence, adding to Kentucky's tally of 398 documented Bigfoot sightings. While skeptics argue the prints could be expertly fabricated, the casts' detailed craftsmanship has impressed even cautious researchers, fueling plans for further expeditions. Kentucky's rugged, forested terrain continues to be a prime hunting ground for cryptozoology enthusiasts eager to uncover the truth behind the elusive Sasquatch. The footprints, found by a KBRO expedition team after reports of strange vocalizations in the area, were cast in plaster by Thomas Shea, a renowned tracker with the Northern Kentucky Bigfoot Research Group. The prints, measuring 16 inches long and 7 inches wide, display distinct dermal ridges, unique skin patterns akin to human fingerprints, suggesting a biological origin rather than a carved hoax. The depth of the impressions, pressed nearly 2 inches into compacted soil, indicates a creature far heavier than any known local wildlife, such as bears or deer. Raymond, speaking at the event, emphasized the prints' authenticity, noting their alignment with other credible evidence from Kentucky, including sightings in Mammoth Cave National Park and the Red River Gorge. He cited the state's history of 85 sightings accompanied by tracks or audio, out of 398 total reports, as context for the discovery's significance. Skeptics, however, remain unconvinced, pointing to the long history of Bigfoot hoaxes, such as the 1958 California casts later admitted to be fakes. They argue the prints could be the work of skilled pranksters using molded boots or casts, especially given the absence of additional evidence like hair or scat. The lack of photographic documentation of the discovery site further fuels doubts, with critics suggesting the print's pristine condition seems almost too perfect. Yet, the cast's intricate details, including subtle ridge variations, have swayed some researchers, who note that replicating such features requires advanced anatomical knowledge. The KBRO has submitted the casts for independent analysis, hoping to detect organic residue or microscopic anomalies. The discovery has galvanized Kentucky's Bigfoot community, with local hunters organizing nighttime expeditions equipped with thermal cameras and audio recorders. The Red River Gorge, a hotspot for sightings, has seen increased foot traffic, with enthusiasts reporting eerie tree knocks and distant howls. Raymond, who has interviewed over 500 witnesses, believes the prints reinforce Kentucky's status as a Bigfoot haven, rivaling the Pacific Northwest. The event has also boosted local tourism, with businesses selling Bigfoot-themed gear. For now, Kentucky's forests remain a cryptic frontier, where each footprint fuels dreams of uncovering a creature that defies science. Is this evidence of a relict hominid, or another clever ruse? The question lingers, inviting listeners to ponder the mysteries hidden in the Bluegrass State's wilds. Arkansas couple encounters 2 Bigfoot figures crossing rural road in moonlit sighting. In the quiet, moonlit wilds of Faulkner County, Arkansas, a chilling encounter on a secluded stretch of Plum Creek Road has added a new chapter to the state's storied Bigfoot lore. In July 2025, a couple driving home late at night reported seeing 2 large, dark figures, an 8-foot-tall giant and a smaller 5-6-foot companion, crossing the road under the silvery glow of a full moon. The sighting, detailed in August 2025 on phantomsandmonsters.com, has gripped the local community and sparked intense interest among cryptozoology enthusiasts. The wife, initially a skeptic who dismissed Bigfoot as folklore, confirmed her husband's account, describing the creature's fluid, almost graceful movements as unlike any known animal. The area's History of Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, BFRO, reports lends credibility to their story, though no physical evidence like footprints or hair was collected. Arkansas's dense, untamed forests continue to whisper tales of the unknown, leaving listeners to wonder what lurks in the shadows of the natural state. The couple, whose identities remain private to avoid scrutiny, were driving along Plum Creek Road around 11 p.m. when their headlights caught the towering figures. The larger creature, estimated at 8 feet tall with broad shoulders and a shaggy, dark coat, moved with a purposeful stride, while the smaller figure, possibly a juvenile, kept pace beside it. The wife noted the creature's arms swung longer than a human's, and their eyes reflected an eerie glow, a detail often reported in Bigfoot encounters. Frozen in awe, the couple watched as the pair crossed the road in seconds before vanishing into the thick woods. The husband, a lifelong outdoorsman, insisted no bears or humans could move with such silent agility in the rugged terrain. The wife, shaken but convinced, described the experience as life-changing, prompting her to research similar sightings online. Faulkner County, nestled in Arkansas's Ozark foothills, has a rich history of BFRO-documented encounters, with over 50 reports of Bigfoot activity since the 1970s, including the famous Fouke monster of 1971. This history bolsters the couple's account, as Plum Creek Road lies near known hotspots like Catherine Creek, where strange vocalizations and tree knocks have been reported. The BFRO has since reached out to the couple, seeking to map the sighting and investigate the site, though summer undergrowth and lack of rain left no clear tracks. Skeptics argue the figures could have been misidentified wildlife, like black bears, or costumed pranksters, citing the absence of physical evidence. Yet the couple's detailed description, down to the creature's synchronized movements, has swayed local believers. The sighting has energized Arkansas's cryptozoology community, with local meetups discussing the encounter and planning nighttime expeditions. Residents report increased vigilance, with some claiming to hear distant howls since the sighting. The story spread on phantomsandmonsters.com has drawn national attention, with comparisons to multi-creature sightings in Missouri and Texas. For now, Faulkner County's wilds remain a cryptic frontier, where moonlit roads hold secrets. Is this proof of a Bigfoot family roaming Arkansas, or a fleeting illusion under the moonlight? The mystery endures, inviting listeners to ponder what truly stalks the state's untamed heart. Well, listeners, that's our roundup of the strange and unexplained for tonight, and what a wild ride it's been. From the shadowy Bigfoot caught on an East Texas trail cam to the eerie alien-like figure on a Compton doorbell, these stories remind us that the unknown is never far away. The dinosaur-like creature at Skinwalker Ranch and the Idaho ATV sighting push the boundaries of what we believe is possible, while the mysterious predator-like entity and Ohio's glowing UFO keep us looking to the skies. Even the debunked Virginia hoax shows how much we want to believe in Bigfoot, and the Biltmore's ghostly girl in red keeps the supernatural alive in our cities. Kentucky's footprints and Arkansas's roadside Bigfoot duo prove the wilderness still holds secrets. These tales, whether you're a skeptic or a believer, spark that primal curiosity about what lurks just beyond our understanding. They challenge us to question reality, to wonder if we're alone, or if something, be it cryptid, spirit, or extraterrestrial, is watching. So, thank you for tuning in to Real Free News Radio overnight. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and drop a comment in the description with your favorite story tonight or any weird tales you want us to cover. Maybe you've seen something strange yourself, let us know. While you're at it, check out our Real Free News store for all natural, organic, non-GMO foods that are definitely not out of this world, but they'll keep you grounded. Stop back next time for more stories that are out of this world, right here, all night long, on Real Free News Radio overnight. Stay curious, stay spooky, and good night.